Another example of pitting us against one another. Greg Abbott, instead of paying those teachers that living wage that they deserve and that they've earned, he's now asking them to turn in the parents of transgender kids, reporting them for child abuse, which, if that accusation is sustained after a CPS investigation, those kids will be taken from their loving parents who are doing everything within their power to help that child navigate one of the most difficult moments in their lives, put them in foster care, into a system where there are already 30,000 kids, a system that has gone, in the words of Judge Shack, from bad to worse, where last year 100 children in the custody and care of the state of Texas lost their lives. Hundreds more were trafficked for their bodies, all under the auspices of the state of Texas and under the leadership of Governor Abbott. On this one, not only are we going to stand up and fight for those transgender children and every kid in the state of Texas, regardless of our differences, but we're going to put the resources into CPS. We're going to hire more caseworkers. We're always going to look towards family placement where we can. We're going to support foster care parents and make sure they don't have to jump through every hoop under the sun in order to do the right thing. And we're going to make sure that this state is distinguished by looking out for and caring for and elevating the most vulnerable among us. We get past this craziness, this extremism, these fringe policies of the current governor, who's been an absolute failure on every single thing he has touched. We can get back to the big things that we should be known for here in Texas and all around the world. But the only way we're going to do that is by deciding that we are going to do that together. There is no one candidate, there's no political party, there is no one organization that is going to pull this off. It has got to be the people of Texas. Now, in the 2020 election, there were 7 million eligible Texans who did not cast a ballot in what is arguably the most consequential election in, if not U.S. history, then at least in our lifetimes. We shouldn't judge. I'm sure nobody here does, but sometimes we're tempted to get on a high horse and say, well, if you didn't vote, you get what you deserve. Let's acknowledge that there are some who are asked to wait hours in line outside of Texas Southern University, for example. We saw the photos and the video. On the one hand, we're so proud of anyone who would endure a 3-hour line to cast a ballot, but on the other hand, we are deeply ashamed that anyone is forced to do that in this great democracy. We learned that in February, during early voting of this year, a 95-year-old World War II veteran who put his life on the line in World War II to fight fascism half the world away, to defend democracy here at home, had his vote by mail ballot rejected not once, but 3 separate times. If anyone has earned the right to vote in this country, it is that gentleman and any veteran who's put their lives on the line here. But in Texas, it is harder to vote, harder to register, harder to participate in our politics than any other state. And it is by design who they are targeting. So here's my request of you. If you have not already, please text the word Texas to 20377. When you do that, text Texas to 20377. We will sign you up to be a volunteer. And by volunteer, it means I'm going to ask you to knock on the doors of those registered, eligible, but non-voting neighbors of yours. When you show up in person, it will be so much more powerful and profound than any television ad that we can put up on the air, any cute thing that we could put on social media, any piece of mail that will arrive in their mailbox. Another human being, looking at them eye to eye, face to face, human being to human being. That is as powerful as it gets. And they will never forget that visit. And when you, in your own words, from your own heart, describe why this election means something to you, whether it's something that you heard me say here today or something that you hold true to yourself and your family, that is why you've come out this evening, I want you to share that message at their doors. And won't it be some pretty powerful political justice if the very people targeted for voter suppression become the margin of victory when we win this thing on November 8th of 2022. So I want your help to reach out to these folks. I am so grateful that you came here today. We are going to host this as a town hall. So if anyone has a question, an idea, a suggestion or a thought, Cynthia Connell right here has got a microphone. We're going to switch microphones, and she will take it to you. Raise your hand, and she'll bring it out. But Missouri City, thank you for having us out here today.